So I'm making this video and I haven't even finished doing my hair for the day because I was drying my hair and then I took a break to empty the dishwasher and then I felt my hands tingling. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. But what was interesting too was last night as I was falling asleep, I all of a sudden had this electric shock go through my left eye. And then I was just like, yeah, whatever. And I went to sleep. And so today is day 3 of taking the EMP. So I was emptying the dishwasher and then I look at my hands and there's all this like white stuff on it. And it looks kind of like paint. And I'm thinking to myself, what did I touch? I don't think I touched anything that would have put this white stuff on my hands. And then I tried to wash it off or even scrape it off and it wouldn't even come off. So I'm like, this stuff doesn't even come off. And then my brain started going in the direction of freaky universe stuff because I was looking all over. I was looking at all the different things that I had touched within the last 5 minutes. And I was trying to see if there was any kind of goop or of any kind on them, and nothing. So I'm walking around thinking, okay, universe, what is going on? Because I have had an experience before, I don't know if I mentioned it, that I went to the hospital and then they wouldn't admit me. And when I got back, there was blood all over a red pepper that I had. And I was like, how the hell did that get there? And I still haven't figured that one out. But it was pretty freaky because I even tasted it because I was like, that can't be blood. Like, there's no way that can be blood. And whatever it was, it tasted like blood. And I ended up in the psych ward 2 days later. And when they were talking to me in one of the rooms, they gave me some water and that tasted like blood. So it could have just been that everything was tasting like blood. It was one of those synesthesia things going on just to freak me out further, of course. And it could even be that in that state of terror that feels like death, then things taste like blood because that's just the level of consciousness. But anyways, I haven't figured that one out for real, and I don't think I ever will. And I think it was also the universe telling me, well, you'll never figure out the universe. How are you going to do that? Like, I can do anything, and it really can. So my hands, I don't know if you can see, but you can't really see. There's white on my hand there, and then my fingers, and it's on my pinky. Basically everywhere, on my fingertips especially, and on my palm. And then this hand is like this, on my palm like that. And then my finger like that, that. Oh, and it's on the back of my thumb on this hand. Because how I noticed that maybe it was not something I touched was I noticed that the back of my thumb was tingling, and then I looked at the back of my thumb right where it was tingling, and that's where this white paint looking stuff is. And so I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should actually contact the True Hope people and have a support account, because I was just going to take one a day. But it seems that this stuff, this True Hope stuff, is really powerful. And they talk about how when your body gets the right nutrition, it starts to make the drugs be over-medicating because it doesn't really need that anymore because it's using the nutrition. So it's getting the right nutrition, and then now all these drugs are like poisonous, and the body is sensing it as poisonous. And I've heard them say that before numerous times because I've heard them speak numerous times over the years. And then this happens, and I'm just thinking, this is weird, because I took one this morning, and I had something to eat with it, and yeah, I had that electric shock thing last night, and I had this tingling hands with white stuff all over. This could be maybe lithium coming out of my nervous system, out of my nerves, through my fingers, and I haven't checked the rest of my body, and I don't think there's anything there. I haven't felt any tingling anywhere else. And then I googled lithium and white hands, and all that came up was pictures of vacuum cleaners for some reason. So I think it might be more of a true hope interaction. And I didn't really think anything would happen with just one capsule, because a dose is technically 4 capsules a day, and I was just going to take it as a little bit of maintenance, and I thought it might help a little bit with anxiety, since I'm not taking any kind of multi-mineral of any kind. So it makes me feel like just going off medication and just totally just going with the true hope and just going with it. It doesn't make me afraid. It makes me hopeful, actually, to take one capsule and start to feel over medicated, basically, is kind of cool. It's just really weird. Like, it just really looks like I was painting, like finger painting with a 5-year-old or something. Yeah, it's even on the tip of this finger. It's really strange. And it's interesting how it came about with tingling, like quite sharp tingling in those spots on my hand where it was happening. So it's an indication it's doing something. I feel like it could be pushing out lithium. Like, this could be lithium stored up, because I know that lithium carbonate isn't really easily processed by the body or easily absorbed, and that's why it's such a high dose. And I was going to switch to lithium orotate, but maybe that would be something to do after getting off the lithium carbonate. So it seems like there's a lot of it stored in the body. And I'm looking at my hands, and they're kind of sparkly and glistening too, like water is coming out. Like, my palms are sweating a little bit. It's kind of fascinating. So yeah, day 3 of true hope, just taking one capsule. Got maybe something like lithium coming out on my skin, and it doesn't wash off. So hopefully it eventually comes off. So I might take a break from it tomorrow, not take it. But we'll see how I feel today in terms of anxiety, because if that's better, then maybe it would be worth continuing to take, even though it's going to give me some kind of neurological tingling and shocks and things like that. But I'm thinking I should get an account with them. I'm pretty sure it costs a monthly fee of something. Might actually be good to have that extra support, even if I'm just taking one a day, and I have that extra person that I can call if something happens. Could be a sign to just really get with this coming off meds thing. I feel hopeful that it will help. I went from being like, why did the universe put paint on my hands? Like, what is it trying to do? To, this is probably just lithium coming out of my system. I've been on it for 5.5 years, which isn't even that long compared to how long most people end up on it. People usually end up on it until they get a blood test back that say their kidneys are no longer able to cope with it. And I'd rather be off of it before that happens instead of wait until that happens. Because once my kidneys have gotten to that point, that must right there actually reduce the number of years one has left, because one's kidneys still have to work for everything else that the body is bombarded with. So it's not a matter of if it damages the kidneys, it's a matter of when. So I think maybe in a couple of days I'll call them and ask, because I know there's one support line where you order the product through them and then they support you automatically, and then there's another support line where you just buy the product at the store and then you pay for the support. So I don't know which one is better, and there might be a slight variation in the product, or at least there used to be, in terms of the formulation. But I feel kind of hopeful. I feel kind of excited. Because to me it feels like my body is rejecting the lithium because maybe it doesn't need it. I'm feeling the prickly feeling again right here. I wonder why it would come out the hands. It doesn't come off. I really want to be able to have faith in this process, because I've had different naturopaths tell me take this or take that. Some say True Hope stuff is good. Some say it's too broad. It's like this one size fits all, yet it doesn't fit all, because there's different biotypes of bipolar. There's pyrrole disorder, there's overmethylation, there's undermethylation, there's something about copper, blah de blah. And it would be nice if just this would work for me, because maybe I could just take this and I wouldn't have to be all complicated with my supplementation. Something it seems I was right about was that owning a bidet is definitely the #1 predictor of happiness. Because I used mine this morning and I was smiling. And I think the universe and Gaia was smiling too, because now I won't have to use toilet paper. And I love things that are eco-friendly where possible.